What's up, Dunkers and Dunkettes? It's Wayne Duncan, No Vision Duncan. And with this rebuild, it's a whole nother type of vibe. Because for the first time ever, you can even say for the first time in my life, for the first time in my real estate rebuild history, we'll be doing the Pittsburgh, oops, that might have slipped out. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you know, you know, as a Seahawks fan. And it's funny that we're playing the Seahawks in the first preseason game, as this dates and goes all the way back to my middle school days where we were robbed of my first Super Bowl against the Steelers, one of the worst called and worst officiated games in NFL history. They even had me beefing with Wiz Khalifa in black and yellow. But we're not doing this rebuild for Steeler Nation. It is that season. It's Christmas time as I record this. I also just got done watching the Raiders Steelers game, the Immaculate Reception game. Rest in peace to Franco Harris. But I also saw some Steelers players and also Seahawks players and other players around the league working out pregame with their shirts off in the cold weather. Even out here in Florida right now, it's big frozen. But in Madden 23, we are targeting the 32, all 32 teams with the rebuilds. We've only been hitting the number 31 because we actually never done the Steelers before. But if a team in the AFC North, like the Baltimore Ravens or the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals or Cleveland Browns win the division, like I said before, it's a whole nother type of vibe when it comes to rebuild. We don't want to win. I don't want to give the Steelers any more championships. 6 is enough. But this is as real as it gets when it comes to realistic. So we're still going to make realistic trades, realistic signings, and everything's still going to be realistic. Also, now that the OG Steelers have moved on, they've all retired, with the most recent last one being Big Ben. The James Harrisons, the Hein Wards, the Troy Polamalu's, the Jerome Bettises, they're all gone now. And believe it or not, and that's a really hard belief, I actually like some of the new Steelers. And Mike Tomlin, he's always been one of my favorite coaches. He's one of the bright spots of the Steelers that I've always liked. I appreciate Mike Tomlin. He is one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history. Right now in real life, he could potentially have his first losing season, but they're still in the playoff hunt, so he still could go at least 500 and keep that streak going. With all that being said, let's waste no more time and let's meet some of these new Steelers that I am talking about and some of these Steelers that I might like a little bit. Starting at the quarterback position, Kenny Pickett, their rookie quarterback out of Pitt. I think it was a great pick for him. He gets to stay home. He played college in Pittsburgh. He gets to stay home in Pittsburgh and be their new franchise quarterback. I also like that number 8 because that's one over Big Ben's number 7. Looking at the backup quarterback, you got Mitchell Trubisky, who they brought over from, I think he was on the Bills backing up Josh Allen. They paid him like $20 million, I think it was, 2-year deal, $20 million to be the backup quarterback. But they did start him in the regular season, in the beginning of the season. I think I'm going to do the same thing here in this realistic rebuild. Start off with Mitchell Trubisky and then eventually move over to Kenny Pickett. They also have Mason Rudolph here as a quarterback 3. Never really liked Mason Rudolph, especially after that Myles Garrett hit. I feel like he said something to Myles Garrett to trigger him to do that, but it is what it is. Running back got Najee Harris, who I like. I like Najee Harris, but I think for the Steelers at the time, that was the wrong pick. They shouldn't have went running back in the first round. I would have drafted offensive line. So be it. I don't want the Steelers getting better, but they did get better when they drafted Najee Harris. They also have Benny Snell as backup running back, Jalen Warren, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, as the running back 3, and they also have Jeremy McNichols. Fullback, you got Derek Watt, who is the brother of JJ and TJ Watt, fullback. Receiver. Now, receiver is a spot where the Steelers have always gotten it right, and you can look at it from Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, even AB, Antonio Brown. Almost said Antonio Bryant. Forgot about Martavis Bryant. Martavis Bryant is another name I forgot about. Emmanuel Sanders is another name that you could throw there. And you can even throw Chase Claypool, who got traded to the Bears, and the Bears fleeced the Steelers, trading Chase Claypool for a second-round pick. Fleeced. But also here, Deontay Johnson, who should not have superstar dev. You got George Pickens, who was a steal, probably the biggest steal in the draft. I'll put that up there with, my Seahawks at the Tariq Woolen in the 5th round. But George Pickens is right up there in the 2nd round. He's been phenomenal the whole season in real life. That was a great pick for the Steelers. They got Anthony Miller, the former Chicago Bear, got Miles Boykin, the former Raven, Calvin Austin, the speedster out of Memphis. I like him a lot too. And that's the thing. The Steelers know how to draft and develop their wide receiver room. You got Calvin Austin here who they can develop. You can develop George Pickens. They've developed Deontay Johnson already. Hell, even guys that they signed down here, Steven Sims, Gunner, they're all great. So I love their wide receiver room. Tight end, you got Pat Freiermuth, Zach Gentry, Connor Hayward, who is the younger brother of Cam Hayward. And then offensive line. This is probably the weakest position on the offense. You could even say the team overall. You got Dan Moore Jr., second-year tackle out of Texas A&M. Left guard, you have Kevin Dotson. You also have Kendrick Green going into his second season. You got Mason Cole at center. Right guard, you got James Daniels, the former Chicago Bear. And then at right tackle, you got Okorafor at right tackle. That's actually a bad contract for Okorafor. Might have to start him. They also have Jesse Davis. And then at left end, you got Chris Wormley. You got Larry Ogunjobi, DeMarvin Leal, who I think was a good pickup for them in the draft. You got Jonathan Marshall down here. Right end, you got Cam Hayward, who's probably one of the best players on the defense. But he is 33 years of age. You got Isaiah Loudermilk. Okay. Montravius Adams at nose tackle. Tyson Alualu. Left outside linebacker, you got TJ Watt, who I think is probably the best defensive player in the league. He tied the sack record last season in real life. Was it last season? No. Was last season. Why is it saying 0 sacks? Didn't TJ Watt have like 22 and a half? I got to look it up. But I think that is incorrect. I think he had like 22 sacks last season, didn't even play all 17 games in the season. So I think those stats are incorrect right there. But middle linebacker, you got Miles Jack coming over from the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have Devin Bush, who they drafted a couple of years ago. And then they have a bunch of other guys down here. Right outside linebacker, you got Alex Highsmith. You got Malik Reed. Corner, you got Will Jackson. Cam Sutton, Akilo Witherspoon, Levi Wallace, James Pierre, Josh Jackson, Arthur Millette. So I think cornerback position is the weakest position on the defense. I mean, you could say D-line. You got, Cam Hayward is getting up there in age. You got, Chris Warren. You got Larry Ogunjobi, who are probably going to start. DeMarvin Leal has to develop for us. But yeah, besides D-line, I would say cornerback is probably the weakest. I can't even say weakest position on the defense. And then at free safety, you got Minka Fitzpatrick. At free safety, still one of the best free safeties in the league. DeMonte Casey, a backup. Strong safety, you got Terrell Edmonds. You got Carl Joseph. You got Miles Killebrew. Kicker, you got Chris Boswell, who's one of the best kickers in the league. And then at punter, you got Presley Harvin III, who I think is the only black punter in the league. But that is the team going into year one. We're not going to make any changes to the depth chart. I want everybody playing. I'm talking Cam Hayward. I'm talking TJ Watt. Everybody is going to play in the preseason. If we get an injury, next man up mentality. But we're going to play all of our starters. We're also going to have quarterback competition with Kenny Pickett, Trubisky, and we'll throw Mason Rudolph in there. He's probably going to be quarterback 3. It's really down to Kenny Pickett and Trubisky, but I am leaning towards the starting Trubisky for the first couple of games, the regular season, just like they did in real life, and then Kenny Pickett will take over at some point. But simulate the first preseason game against my Seattle Seahawks. And we get blown out 41-14. Start Trubisky the next game. Let's see if we can get the win with Trubisky. Got the Jaguars, who are actually first place right now in the AFC South Division after their win today as I record this. And we actually do beat the Jaguars 22-3. That was Trubisky starting that game. And then we're going to go back to Kenny Pickett and then put Mason Rudolph in. Let Mason Rudolph get some action. And we actually win our last preseason game. So the Seahawks were the only team that beat us in preseason. We go 2-1. Same thing with the Ravens, and the Bengals Browns go 1-2. We do have to cut 8 players. We do have an injury, and it is J.C. Hassaner. He is the backup center, torn labor. He'll be back for like the 3rd game of the season. But we do have to cut 8 players. Before we do, we're going to check out the stats, see how everybody performed. As I think Mitchell Trubisky outplayed Kenny Pickett just by a little bit. So we were going to go with Trubisky anyway. So he will be quarterback 1 to start off. Najee Harris, of course, he's going to be the starter with Benny Snell as the backup. Receiver, George Pickens was great. Miles Boykin was great. Anthony Miller, Deontay Johnson, all the receivers. I told y'all, this wide receiver room goes crazy, man. It goes crazy. All of them played great. Pat Fryermuth only had 4 catches, but he's going to be the starter. Offensive line, Jesse Davis, who was a backup, he gave up 3. Dawson gave up 1, and Okorafor gave up 1. All the rest of the offensive linemen, though, played great. They didn't give up any sacks. Terrell Edmonds led the team in tackles. 4 sacks for Cam Hayward, but he probably was playing up. I mean, he's Cam Hayward, but probably played some of those reps against backups. TJ Watt with 2, Miles Jack with a sack and a pick, Chris Wormley with a sack, Malik Reed with a sack, a pick for TJ Watt, a pick for Miles Jack. Chris Boswell does miss 1 field goal. He goes 4 or 5. And then we had 3 punts inside the 20. Longest was 68. But we do have to cut 8 players. So we'll go down the list of the roster and make those cuts right now. And let's see. Who can we cut? I think we're going to keep all the wide receivers for right now. We're going to keep Connor Hayward on the team. Offensive line, we should be good. We have a bunch of defensive ends. So I think Jonathan Marshall or Loudermilk. I might just put Loudermilk on the practice squad just because of that last name. But I think Jonathan Marshall is a candidate for the practice squad. We have a bunch of middle linebackers, so Christian Kuntz can go on the practice squad. I also think that Mark Robinson, the rookie out of Ole Miss, he can go on the practice squad. And maybe, no, Marcus Allen is eligible. Right outside linebacker, we got Malik Reed. We have a bunch of cornerbacks. Free safety. Okay, so Trey Norwood, he can go on the PS. And so can Elijah Riley. And how many more players do we have left? Should be about like 2 or 3. It's a couple. So 3 more players that we have to cut. And I feel like Mason Rudolph might have to be one of them. We're not cutting the Marvin Leal. I mean, we could put Loudermilk on the practice squad, but I think we should keep 5 defensive ends because we only have 2 defensive tackles. You know, the game will sign somebody. You know, the game does whatever it wants to do. If there's an injury, you don't have that many people on the roster for that position. So I think Millette, we have a bunch of cornerbacks, and cornerback is already weak. We have 3 safeties. So, yeah, Millette can get released. So we'll release him. Damn, this is actually kind of tough. I think we're going to have to cut Gunner. And I think the last cut is going to have to be Mason Rudolph. I don't think we need 3 quarterbacks. I don't like Mason Rudolph anyway. He did not end up becoming the successor to Ben Roethlisberger. And now with Mitchell Trubisky, he's going to be starting. Kenny Pickett is the future. I think we should just rock with those 2. I thought I saw that we had a team captain slot available. And we are going to give that out to somebody. Cam Hayward's already a team captain. TJ Watt is a team captain. Maybe William Jackson. Fitzpatrick, he's not a team captain for some reason. So we're going to make him a team captain. And then we'll see if we have any other slots available. Maybe we give it to like Chris Boswell. Actually, there is no more spots. So congratulations, Minka Fitzpatrick, on being named the team captain. Now we can upgrade the players, reorder our depth chart, adjust the lineup, and get on to the regular season. Or I hope we go 0-17. So QB1 will be Mitchell Trubisky at least for like the first 2 or 3 games. Running back will be Najee Harris. Fullback will be Derek Watt. Receiver, going to have Deontay Johnson, George Pickens. I'm going to go with the rookie Calvin Austin over Boykin and over Anthony Miller. Tight end, we're going to go Pat Freiermuth. I'm actually going to go with Connor Hayward as the backup tight end. Dan Moore at left tackle. Left guard will be Dotson. Center will be Mason Cole. He's kind of also on a bad contract, just like a Okorafor. James Daniels at right guard. And then at right tackle, we have a Okorafor on that bad contract. But we also have Kendrick Green, who is young and can develop and could potentially start at some point. But right now, he'll just be our extra offensive lineman, like our sixth offensive lineman, maybe even a swing tackle. Chris Wormley at left end. Cam Hayward at right end with DeMarvin Leal backing him up. Montravius Adams, I think, also has a bad contract. But we're going to go with Larry Ogunjobi as the starting nose tackle. Left outside linebacker, left edge rusher will be T.J. Watt, followed by Miles Jack, Devin Bush in the middle. Alex Highsmith on the right with Malik Reed backing him up. Will Jackson, Cam Sutton, N'Keal Witherspoon, Levi Wallace. I kind of want to get Levi Wallace in there, though. Do we play him over? I'll play Levi Wallace over N'Keal Witherspoon. Free safety, Minka Fitzpatrick, DeMonte Casey, Terrell Edmonds, Carl Jones. They have great safety depth, too. Even with Killebrew down here as the third strong safety, Chris Boswell, Presley Harvin. Special teams, you got Calvin Austin, Jeremy McNichols. Punt return, you're going to have Calvin Austin, Ant Miller, and Jeremy McNichols. Boswell as the kickoff starter, James Daniel as the long snapper. Third down back will be Najee Harris. Power back will be Najee Harris. Slot receiver, they have George Pickens. And I'm actually cool with that. And then we'll go with Calvin Austin. I almost said Miles Austin, former Cowboys wide receiver. And then Anthony Miller right there. Left end, they have Cam Hayward, so this is all wrong. So this should be T.J. Watt. Okay, so they have T.J. Watt on that side. So on this side, it should be Alex Highsmith. And it should also be Malik Reed. And then rush D tackle should be Cam Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi, and Chris Wormley. Might put DeMarvin Leal. He's only a 6'2" overall, so we'll just leave it the way it is. Sub linebacker can be Miles Jack, Devin Bush, and they have DeMonte Casey there. That's actually fine. Get our backup safeties involved. And they have Levi Wallace, DeMonte Casey, and N'Keal Witherspoon. I think we're going to put Carl Joseph there, where DeMonte Casey was, and then N'Keal Witherspoon, who's our fourth cornerback right now. So I actually like the way that the depth chart is set up. Let's advance the week and get on to week 1. So we start the season off against the Cincinnati Bengals. So for the goal, I am going to say 4 wins, even though Mike Tomlin, he's always going to be in that 8 to at least 500. But to keep it safe so Mike Tomlin does not get fired, we're going to do 4 wins for this first season. Don't know what to expect. And draft class, auto-generate. Look at the top 10 prospects as I see a couple of quarterbacks, defensive ends, cornerbacks up there, defensive lineman, offensive lineman. So some positions of need, especially at corner. But we kick off the season against the Cincinnati Bengals, who won the division last season in real life. And looking at our overall, we're 80 overall, 85 defense, 77 offense. So the Steelers defense dominating, just like those old Dick LeBeau defenses used to do back in the day. But let's see how we go up against the Bengals on the road. Can we get the win? Won't mind if we don't. And we actually don't. We lose 38-27. And our passing game was actually good. We could not run the ball that well. We didn't turn the ball over. They did, but look at the third down conversions. Only 2 third down conversions to their 11. We did go for it on 4th down. Y'all know Mike Tomlin loves going for it on 4th down. He loves going for 2-point conversions. We did not convert any 2-point conversions, but we had 4 red zone touchdowns to their 5. We were down 21-7 at the half, ended up losing by 11. But Mitchell Trubisky was actually good. 364 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He played great. We picked off Joe Burrow once, but we did get sacked 3 times. So we just need to protect Mitchell Trubisky. But that was a great game from Trubisky. Great game for him. Touchdown for Najee Harris. George Pickens, 121 in his debut. Deontay Johnson, 109 yards. Pat Fryermuth, 87, and a TD. TD for Anthony Miller. Okorafor and Dan Moore Jr., both tackles, giving up a sack. 3 sacks for Trey Henderson. And then Alex Highsmith had a pick. Boswell misses a field goal. No punts inside the 20. And we lose our first game of the season. Now we take on the New England Patriots. See if we can beat them, our first home game of the season. Patriots were actually the second most hated team for me. Not even before we lost that Super Bowl where we should have ran the ball with beast mode. But actually have a newfound respect for the Patriots. They're not in the same category as the Steelers. But we do lose to the Patriots, 31-23. Defense give it up 30-plus points back-to-back weeks. But we ran the ball this time, but this time we could not pass the ball, so it seems like we're not balanced. We're just one-dimensional right now, whether it comes to passing or running. We did turn the ball over twice. Not great on third down again. 2 touchdowns in the red zone. Wait, what? Okay, so Kenny Pickett came in this game. Don't know why Trubisky got benched. But Kenny Pickett came in and was terrible. 2 picks, no touchdowns, only 145 passing yards, 4 sacks, 17-26. Najee Harris, that's who we leaned on, 113 and a TD. Benny Snell also had a touchdown. And then Jacoby Myers killed us with Hunter Henry. None of our receivers played great. Okorafor giving up sacks. We might have just bench Okorafor and go with the younger guard, Kendrick Green. Alex Highsmith had 2 sacks, so a pick last week, 2 sacks this week. Cam Hayward with a sack. And Boswell was 3 for 3, made a 55-yarder this week instead of missing a field goal from last week. But we do go 0-2, and don't know why Trubisky did not play in that game. Don't know if this reordering of the depth chart thing is still going on. Yeah, that's what they did. Going back to Trubisky, did not deserve to. Oh, man, why did they do this? So now we have to reorder our depth chart again. Probably could have won that game. If Trubisky was playing. So Ogunjobi. Look at this. They benched Cam Sutton. They just fucked everything up. Levi Wallace, Cam Sutton. Got to go to the specialist now. It's just so stupid. George Pickens. Just leave my depth chart alone. They have T.J. Watt. I think this side was Highsmith and Malik Reed. And the other side was T.J. Watt. So we lost last week because they messed up our depth chart. I hope they don't touch it again. But mock draft is out, and we are mocked to go top 5, and they have us taking a defensive tackle. Actually is a position of need. We could upgrade over Montravius Adams and Tyson Alualu. And Gerald James doesn't look that bad, so could be a potential top 5 pick for us if we do go that route. If we do end up with number 5, hell, I think we can end up with the number 1 overall pick. But we do have the Browns. They're probably going to play Deshaun Watson, who would have been a great fit for this team at quarterback. I would have hated it, though, especially with the talent. And we do lose 38-28. 30-plus points again given up from the defense on Thursday Night Football. And we ran the ball. Okay, we actually stopped their run a little bit, and we just turned the ball over twice. We actually converted some third downs, 4th down conversion, 3 red zone touchdowns. But why did we lose? Trubisky, 3 touchdowns, only 2 picks, though. Only 1 sack. Good game from the offensive line. Touchdown for Najee Harris. Receiving, Noah Brown. Pat Fryermuth was our leading receiver. 2 touchdowns for George Pickens, the rookie. Offensive line, no sacks given up from any of them. T.J. Watt with 2 sacks. Highsmith having a great start to the season. No picks from our secondary. No punts inside the 20. No special teams touchdowns. And we are 0-3. And I couldn't be more happier. Now we have the 1-2 Jets. See if we can beat them at home.
the struggling Zach Wilson. And we beat them 23-3 to get our first win of the season. So we will not be going 0-17. But we shut the running game down. We ran all over them. We shut their passing game down. We did turn the ball over, but we got some turnovers. They had 1 third-down conversion to our 5. And Zach Wilson, struggling in real life, struggling here in Madden 23. 2 picks and 4 sacks. But Mitchell Trubisky, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Only got sacked once. Najee Harris, $128. Tyler Conklin. These weird names just destroying us in games. Noah Brown. Tyler Conklin, no. Go Vikes. Former Viking. Pat Freiermuth. Austin, his first career touchdown. And a sack for T.J. Watt, sack for Cam Hayward, sack for Larry Ogunjobi, Miles Jack, Alex Highsmith, still hot. Got Robert Spillane with the pick, Devin Bush, so a couple of our middle linebackers. Boswell missing another field goal. That's already 2 on the season. And we get our first dub of the season. Starting off 1-3. Now we have the 3-1 Buffalo Bills. We do have an injury, and it is Mr. T.J. Watt. Dislocated ankle, out 7 weeks. Let's see. I think when there's an injury, I think that's when they switch your depth chart around. So, looks like they haven't, though. We can go with Jameer Jones. Malik Reed probably is going to start over there at that spot now. Yeah. Let's just make sure that our specialist is, let's see, they have Highsmith and then Malik Reed. Yeah, so they didn't change anything. Don't know why they changed it before. Don't know what that was all about. But now we have the 3-1 Bills without T.J. Watt. His defense already giving up 30 points a week. Now that we don't have our best player on the team. And we only lose by a field goal. 28-25. Not bad. Still took the L, though. 11 third-down conversions for the Bills to our 5. Let's see. Trubisky didn't play bad. He is not playing bad. He is not playing bad at all. Najee Harris, only 69 yards, but averaged 4.6. Also had a touchdown. Receiving 1-1-1 for Deontay Johnson. Touchdown for George Pickens. Touchdown for Pat Freiermuth. He's having a good season. Corford gave up 2 sacks. Alex Highsmith, Ogunjobi with sacks, and then a pick for Cam Sutton. Boswell making a 55-yard field goal. No special teams touchdowns, and we are now 1-4. It's going to be even tougher without T.J. Watt. We have the Bucs, who are 2-3. See if we can beat them, knock them off. Looks like the Browns and the Bengals both had 4 wins with the Ravens too. So everybody in the division doing well except for the lonely Steelers. 24-14, we lose to Tom Brady and the Bucs. As we ran the ball, we shut the running game down, but we could not pass the ball. Now the question is, Trubisky, 193, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, no sacks though. And we are now, 1-5. Is this the time? We saw Kenny Pickett in the Week 2 game where he played terrible. You know, when they put him in, the CPU, the AI put him in, I did not put him in. But now, if I put him in, will he play better? Alex Highsmith is playing at a high level right now. Levi Wallace with an interception. No field goals, no special teams touchdowns, no punts inside the 20. But now that we are at week 7? Week 7. 0-6 Dolphins, wow. Primetime TV game too. 1-5, bottom of the AFC North. I think this is the perfect, and against a team that is winless, this is the perfect opportunity and perfect time to put in Kenny Two Gloves, Kenny Pickett. It's going to be the starter for the remainder of the season. See if we can beat we had a weekly award winner. Probably was Alex Highsmith. Forgot to check it. But see if we can beat the Dolphins, send them to 0-7, get Kenny Pickett's first win of his career as a starter. And we do. 35-17. Don't know what's going on. The Dolphins, must have the injury or something. But 35-17, beat the Dolphins. We shut the running game down, passed all over them. No turnovers. 14 third down conversions to their 2. 5 red zone touchdowns to their 0. 2 touchdowns, 323 for Kenny Pickett. No picks, only 2 sacks. 28-40, 70 completion percentage. He's the starter for the remainder of the season. They must just have bad luck because Tua isn't hurt. But Najee Harris, 74, and a touchdown. Touchdown for Benny Snell. Touchdown for Jalen Warren. All three of our running backs. Pat Freiermuth, 104 on 9 catches. Touchdown for Deontay Johnson. Touchdown for George Pickens. Alex Highsmith is playing at a high level. He even has me excited talking about his play right now, as much as it kills me to be, bragging and boasting about the way Alex Highsmith is playing. He is playing some good football right now here in this simulation. Cam Hayward and Malik Reed, who is taking over, replacing TJ Watt. He gets a sack and 2 punts inside the 20 for Presley Harvin. And we get our second win of the season. And mock draft 2 is out. We were number 5 in the first mock draft, and now we moved down the board 1 spot to number 6, and they haven't taken the cornerback. So right now, this is a top 5 corner. I actually like this one just like the first one. 2 positions on defense we would need is D-line and corner, and this is a big corner, 6'3", 184. Probably doesn't look that good. Probably isn't worth a top 5 pick as he is projected, but we'll unlock some more ratings later on. But right now we're worried about the Eagles, who look like the best team in football right now in real life. See if we can beat them, get our second straight win. They are 3-3. And we lose to them 21-17, close game. So the games went from giving up 30 points a week, and we're starting to tone it down a little bit. Look at this, 3 points, then 28, 24, 17. Yes, our defense starting to hold some of these offenses, back from scoring a lot of points on us. We could not run the ball that game. We shut the passing game down, but that one turnover, because it looks like we were up 13-0 in the first quarter, but 13-7 at the half. It was like a game we could have won. Kenny Pickett couldn't throw a touchdown, threw a pick, got sacked 4 times, got put on his back. Jalen Hurts was their leading rusher, had 2 touchdowns, so he just scrambled all over us. Deontay Johnson only 67 yards. No touchdowns from any of our receivers. Dan Moore gave up 3 sacks. Kevin Dotson gave up 1. Larry Ogunjobi with a sack, only one with the sack. No picks. 1 field goal from Boswell was a 50-yarder, and we lose another game. Still bottom of the AFC North, I bet we are, and we actually are. Bengals are 7-1, Ravens 6-2, Browns 4-4. We are at the bye week, so we're going to look at some contract negotiations. I should let everybody walk, but William Jackson is here. He does have interest. He is our best corner. He has star dev. I probably wouldn't mind bringing him back. Best corner that we have. Terrell Edmonds, I feel like we could do that. Probably should wait to see how his stats are at the end of the season. But I'm going to offer him this, and if he takes it, I don't know what he said. He said, I'm not considering something. Devin Bush, though. Devin Bush is a player that they should extend. And Cam Sutton. I think Cam Sutton, we're going to wait to see how he plays. And everybody else, Larry Ogunjobi, maybe a 1-year deal. See if he takes that, and he does. 1-year deal for Ogunjobi, and then the rest of these guys are depth pieces. Maybe Derek Watt to make TJ happy. But the only other one we'll come back for is Terrell Edmonds. Don't know why he didn't take it. He had high interest anyway. But we got those guys back. Upgrade the rest of the team. It's trying to make me only do Minka on an auto. Upgrade everybody. And now we are 2-6 at week 10. And looking at our rankings, we are number 2 when it comes to stopping the run, and we are number 10 when it comes to stopping the pass. So our defense is playing as it should. Defensive points per game is actually in the middle at number 15, but we cannot pass the ball. We are 30 in the league when it comes to passing yards, so that kind of sucks with the receiving core that we have. Should be a little bit better than that. But we do win off of the bye week, 31-21. We beat the New Orleans Saints. Let's see how we did that. We shut the running game down. Passing the ball, well, only one turnover. Third downs were great. 3 touchdowns for Andy Dalton, 2 touchdowns for Kenny Pickett, only 1 sack from the offensive line. Najee Harris, 2 yards shy of 100 yards, 51 yards for Benny Snell, touchdown for Derek Watt, looking for that new contract, and a touchdown for Kenny Pickett. Jarvis Landry, juice, 110, 2 touchdowns. George Pickens, 93 and a touchdown. George Pickens is actually playing a little bit better right now than Deontay Johnson. Maybe we should make George Pickens our wide receiver 1. James Daniels gives up a sack, 2 sacks for Cam Hayward, sack for Malik Reed, who is playing really well for the injured T.J. Watt. Levi Wallace with the pick, Chris Boswell making all his field goals. And we get our 3rd win of the season, so we're actually playing a little bit better the second half of the season. 3-6, we have the best team in our division right now, the Cincinnati Bengals. So if we can upset them at home in the Steel City, bunch of Steelers, and we actually beat them. We upset them by 1 point, 21-20. Mind you, we do not have TJ Watt. I actually need to check to see if we got him back. But they passed all over us. We could not pass the ball to save our lives. Rushing yards were just about the same. How did we win that game? We were up 14-0 at the half, 21-7 going into the 4th quarter, and they scored 13 unanswered, and they fell short. But Kenny Pickett, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, no sacks, offensive line protecting him. Najee Harris, 112 and a touchdown, 113 for T. Higgins. Man, they killed us in the passing game. Pat Freiermuth, 2 touchdowns. Calvin Austin, don't know if TJ Watt is back yet. No sacks. Pick for Terrell Edmonds looking for a contract. And McPherson, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with McPherson. This even in Madden 22, every time I played against Evan McPherson, he would always miss field goals. I do not fear. I'm going to say it again. I do not fear McPherson. Punting, none inside the 20, no special teams touchdown. And let's see if TJ Watt is back. I like how it doesn't tell you when the player comes back. Yeah, so TJ Watt is back. Don't know when he came back. Might have just came back. Glad to have him back. Could have stayed out longer if he wanted to. Malik Reed was playing okay. And boom, TJ Watt is back. Let's make sure that our specialist is the way we had it set up before, because they will switch up on you real quick. And yeah, it's actually perfect. Actually, it's not. Highsmith should be on this right side. Or no, the right side should be TJ Watt. So this side should be Highsmith. And this side should be TJ Watt. Everything else is perfect. Actually, no, it's not, because this should be Carl Joseph. 4-6 though. We're fighting back. Bengals and Ravens 7-3. Looks like we're gonna catch the Browns, and we lose 17-7 to the Indianapolis Colts. Is that Monday Night Football? Yes, it was Monday Night Football. But couldn't pass the ball. We got 3 turnovers. We didn't turn the ball over, and we still lost. Down 10-0 at the half. Kenny Pickett didn't throw a touchdown. Now the pick got sacked 5 times. Najee Harris, 82 and a touchdown. Receiving Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman. They killed us. George Pickens, 68 yards receiving. Corafor giving up 3. Dan Moore giving up 2. The tackles. Devin Bush had an interception. Terrell Edmonds had an interception. So Terrell Edmonds already with 2 picks on the season. Boswell misses a field goal. I think we should go back to the negotiations with Terrell Edmonds and see if he wants to, buy in. Let's see. I don't remember what the reason was that he didn't want to pay, but that he didn't want to accept. But with the high interest, I feel like I don't have to give him a player friendly. We can keep the 4 years, just up the salary a little bit, up the bonus a little bit, and this dude is tripping. He's tripping. Terrell Edmonds might be gone. Got the 8-4 Atlanta Falcons, and we lose to them. Got blown out 38-17. all because Terrell Edmonds didn't want to accept the contract. We couldn't run the ball. They passed all over us. We turned the ball over. They were great on third down. 4 touchdowns for Desmond Ridder. Could not run the ball with Najee Harris. George Pickens was great. Dan Moore gave up a sack. Terrell Edmonds, half a sack. He's playing great. And I feel like the moment I overpay for him, that's when he's not going to show up. We'll just wait till the end of the season. Bengals and Ravens, both 8-4, looking to win the AFC North title. And we lose 10-7. Now we're starting to go on this little losing streak. Looks like Mike Tomlin is going to have his first losing season of his career. We could not run the ball. No turnovers, though. We just can't run the ball. 1 touchdown for Kenny Pickett. Deontay Johnson was okay. Touchdown for Pat Freiermuth. He's kind of slowed down a little bit. Offensive line is starting to regress. They were starting to play good. They were protecting Kenny Pickett. And we lose again. Another L, 24-14 to the Panthers. And that'll do it for our playoff hopes. We just can't run the ball. Couldn't pass the ball either. 14-0, down at the half. Najee Harris, touchdown, only 62 yards. I think it's the offensive line. Offense. We can't run the ball, even with Najee Harris at running back. We're not protecting Kenny Pickett, TJ Watt, 2 sacks. DeMar Leal, Miles Jack, 2 picks. And then the defense, giving up 30-plus points. I mean, towards the middle of the season, they stopped that shit, like giving up a lot of points. But now they're starting to give up a lot of points again. But now we have the 8-6 Raiders. And we lose 34-21. Can't even count how many losses in a row that is. Count right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. 21-34. We lose to the Raiders. This is the game. This is the Immaculate Reception game that I just got done watching as I record this. Steelers ended up winning, but not in this universe, in this Madden 23 Realistic Rebuild universe. They outplayed us. Derek Carr, 2 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. Najee Harris only 70 yards and a touchdown. See, he's getting his average. His average yards are great. Touchdowns are great. It is just the yards. The yards. He can't get 100 yards rushing because his offensive line is not blocking. Cole Beasley, 151. Anthony Miller, 137. Why is he in there? A core forward giving up 3 sacks. And I'm not even going to go to the depth chart. If they changed it, they changed it. We only got 2 games left on the season. We're not going anywhere anyway. We only have 4 wins. And now we're playing probably for a top 3 pick, I would say. Maybe top 2. And we lose again. And the tanking is on. Was that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. As we finish the season off against the Browns. 2 touchdowns for Kenny Pickett. 300. We actually shut Lamar Jackson down in the passing game, but we could not stop him in the running game. Benny Snell. Okay, we just benching all our players, so Najee Harris didn't play this week. And receiving George Pickens was great, 110 and 2. Sat for Cam Hayward. William Jackson. As we finish the season off against the Cleveland Browns. Don't know what their record is, and they are 7-9. So playoff hopes for the Browns. I mean, they could sneak in at 8-9. I don't think they will, though, with the type of season that the Ravens and the Bengals are having. But let's see how this goes. See if we get 5 wins or 4 wins here in year 1. And we lose. So we go on a 7-game losing streak to end the season to hand Mike Tomlin his first losing season of his career. Let's look at that game, the last game. Not the playoff schedule because we're not involved. Not the playoff schedule because we're not involved. And we couldn't run the ball. We just couldn't run the ball the second. After that bye week, we couldn't run the ball. Kenny Pickett played a little bit better. Gave up 5 sacks, though. Benny Snell. Where the hell is Najee Harris? Must have got hurt the last 2 games, or we just decided there was nothing to play for, really. 4 sacks given up from Jedrick Wills. Must have been T.J. Watt doing some work. And it was Chris Wormley, Alex Highsmith, Malik Reed. Where's all of our starters? Did Mike Tomlin bench all of our players? I think we should be investigated for purposely tanking. But Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, and Dak Prescott led the league in passing. Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing. Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Jamar Chase, Myles Garrett, Von Miller, Matthew Judon, Adoree Jackson, Justin Reed, Tavares Ward, Landon Collins, Denzel Perriman, L.J. Fort. Looking at our stats, we were 32nd, last in the league when it came to offensive yards. Defensive yards, we were 14th. Najee Harris went over 1,000 yards. Points scored, we were 31st. So we were one of the worst offensive units in the league. Points allowed, though, we were number 10. Looking at it, combined, that's 25 touchdowns, 19 picks, but not a great rookie season for Kenny Pickett. He didn't play the whole season, but he will be our quarterback of the future. Trubisky started off good, and then he turned back into Mitchell Trubisky. Combined sacks was 40. So not great from the offensive line. Rushing, though, Najee Harris was good. 1,100 yards, almost 1,150. Averaged 4.5, 12 touchdowns, no fumbles. Longest rush of the season, so this is a problem. 24 yards was our longest rush of the season. Benny Snell had 4 touchdowns. Touchdown for Kenny Pickett, touchdown for Mitch, and a touchdown for Jalen Warren. Receiving, 1,000 yards for George Pickens. He was our leading receiver in receptions, yards, not touchdowns, because Pat Freiermuth had 9 touchdowns, 3 yards shy of 800 yards, and 1 catch away from 80 catches. 2 touchdowns for Calvin Austin. Anthony Miller had 2 touchdowns, and Deontay Johnson had 70 catches, 858, and 4. Longest reception of the season was 81 yards to Ant Miller. Offensive line, this is going to be bad. 14 for Okorafor, 14 for Dan Moore, 3 for Kevin Dotson. That's not bad. James Daniel had a great season. And Mason Cole had a great season at center. Kendrick Green, though, is probably going to get in over a core for next season. Miles Jack led the team in tackles, 6 TFLs, 2 picks, a half a sack. Devin Bush, 115, 7 and 2. Terrell Edmonds, 83, 6 TFLs, half a sack and 2. Trying to work out a deal with the man. 81 tackles for Cam Sutton, 5 TFLs and a pick. Levi Wallace, 6 TFLs, 2 picks. Alex Highsmith, 10 sacks, 3 picks, 16 TFLs. Pro Bowl type season. Cam Hayward, 26 TFLs, 7 sacks. Could retire at the end of the season. And then TJ Watt, 10 TFLs, 6 sacks, but he was out 7 games. Larry Ogunjobi, 15 TFLs, 3 sacks, 3.5 sacks for Malik Reed. Let's just look at it like this. The TFLs, Wormley had 2 sacks, and then Alex Highsmith led our team in sacks. Picks, we had Alex Highsmith. So, told y'all, playing at a high level. Forced fumbles, we had 2 for Miles Jack, 2 for TJ Watt, 1 for Terrell Evans, 1 for Carl Joseph, 1 for DeMonte Casey. Our backup safeties getting involved. DeMonte Casey, Larry Ogunjobi, Minka Fitzpatrick for the blocks. We had no safeties, and we had no pick sixes or defensive touchdowns. 1 extra pointer was blocked. That's why he missed it. And he only missed 3 field goals. So good season for Chris Boswell, 70%. And his longest was 55 yards. Inside the 20, 15 times. Longest was 71. Average 48.1 for Presley Harvin. And then no special teams touchdown. Yearly awards, MVP goes to the GOAT, Tom Brady. Coach of the year goes to Arthur Smith, with the Falcons going 11 and 6. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Lamar Jackson. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Von Miller. We got Alex Highsmith coming in at number 4. And the Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Pacheco. And we have George Pickens at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Devin Lloyd. Best QB goes to Pat Mahomes. Running back goes to Nick Chubb. We should see Najee Harris at number 9. Receiver goes to Juju Smith-Schuster, the former Steeler. Forgot to mention him in that great wide receiver group. Offensive line goes to Creed Humphrey. We should see Mason Cole in here, but I don't care if he's on the list or not. D-line, Von Miller. We got Cam Hayward at number 7. Linebacker goes to Matthew Judon. Alex Highsmith coming in at number 3. DB goes to Justin Reed. And then kicker is going to go to Greg the Leg Zerloin. Don't make the playoffs, though. Only 4 wins. And let's simulate to the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl. For a Pro Bowl, I would say maybe George Pickens, Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward. Those probably should be the only 3. Could get a couple of snubs. And let's look at the Pro Bowl roster as we have a Chiefs, Cowboys, Super Bowl. Running back, so no Najee Harris. Receiving, no George Pickens as a rookie. Offense, I really think the center could have made it. No Cam Hayward. No Alex Highsmith. So it looks like no Steelers will be going to the Pro Bowl. Oh, Anthony Miller, and I think that's Miles Bogan. So our wide receiver 4 and wide receiver 5 as special teamers make the Pro Bowl. Forgot to look at our rankings. I saw we were number 3 when it came to defensive rush. We were 26 in passing. That went from number 10 to 26. So our secondary, our cornerbacks need help. And then our offense was one of the worst in the league. Rushing yards per game was number 20, so that's not that bad. And then our defense only, number 10 when it came to points per game. Looking at any dev trait progression, we have, I think Najee Harris already had superstar. Deontay Johnson down the star where he should be. If my boy Tyler Lockett can't have superstar dev, you shouldn't have it. George Pickens already had star. Pat Freiermuth, I think, already had star. So nothing changed on offense besides Deontay Johnson going down. And then I think Cam Hayward, he was an X factor. But Highsmith goes up to superstar dev. Minka Fitzpatrick, I think, goes down from superstar. And Levi Wallace, did he go up? Or did he already have that? Yeah, he already had that. So a regression from Deontay Johnson and Minka Fitzpatrick, but we get a new superstar and Alex Highsmith. So looking at this team, I mean, we brought back Ogunjobi. Don't know what's going to happen with Terrell Edmonds. He's being a little hard-ass. So looks like safety is a position we might have to upgrade. Corner, I mean, we got Wallace and Jackson. Need that second corner right there, or third corner. I mean, if we lose Cam Hayward to retirement, need another D lineman anyway. And then our offensive line. Now let's see who wins the Super Bowl out of the Chiefs. MVP Patrick Mahomes and the Cowboys. And high scoring, entertaining Super Bowl, but the Chiefs win it 48-37. Your Super Bowl MVP is Patrick Mahomes. Why did I think he won MVP? It was Tom Brady. Garrett Pratt, Coach of the Year for the Jets. Why is that not Robert Saleh? I don't know. But Chris Godwin is your Offensive Player of the Year. Von Miller, Christian Watson, and Aiden Hutchinson, your Rookies of the Year. Upgrade the practice squad players. As we look to extend Terrell Edmonds, I may not even bring him in to the room. I may not even bring him to the front desk to even negotiate with him. It seems like he doesn't want to be a Steeler, and I don't blame him. But we have the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Now, I would be interested in trading down if there isn't a clear top 5 guy that we take. We're not going to go quarterback. But there's this offensive lineman here, Daniel Boyle. Only C pass block, but looks okay. I don't know what it is with these top 5 projected picks, but usually when I have a top pick and there's all these top 5 projected guys, they're usually not top 5 talent, and that's what you're seeing here in this left end and in this right tackle. But D tackle looks okay. Looks like we're going to be able to get anybody that we want. And this guard, looks really good. Greg Dahl. We may trade down, get him, and pick up some extra picks. I don't know. I don't know. But let's look at the retirement, see if Cam Hayward might have retired. And there goes Harrison. So Tyson Alualu retires. So that looks like the only Steeler retirement. We hold on to Cam Hayward for at least another season. And don't see nobody else. There goes my coach, Pete Carroll. And Terrell Edmonds. So, I mean, the interest is up. I would do the neutral contract, a 3-year deal, up the money. And if he doesn't take that, he's gone. And he accepts that. Okay. So we get him back. Cam Sutton, I think I will let go. And then everybody else. Malik Reed, though. Malik Reed, I would not mind bringing him back to be a good depth piece. He actually played really good when TJ Watt went down with injury, and he wants to test free agency and go be a starter somewhere else. Anthony Miller made the Pro Bowl as a return man. And then Benny Snell was okay as a backup running back. James Pierre is a great depth piece. But, I mean, TJ Watt, why not? Keep him around, 2-year deal. And he wants to play for a new team. Okay. Doesn't want to play with his brother anymore. So before we go to free agency, I will look at some of these bad contracts to see if we can get off some of them. So Kenny Pickett will be our quarterback of the future. I think I'm going to keep Mitch, even though we save about almost $6 million, almost $5 million, if we were to cut or trade him. But we'll just keep him on the roster for now. Got Najee Harris. We do need a backup running back. We could go with Jalen Warren, develop him as our running back too. Need to get a fullback. Going to try to get Derek Watt back. George Pickens. We got Deontay Johnson. Got Calvin Johnson. We got our wide receivers. Tight end. We got Pat Fryermuth and Connor Hayward. Offensive line, though, is where we need to improve. Mason Cole had a great season. A core for we can't get off that contract. But we're probably going to go with Kendrick Green as a starter. Still could draft an offensive lineman, though. Still could draft one. Defensive end, we got Ogunjobi, we got DeMarvin Leal, we got Cam Hayward. We do need a defensive tackle. We could get off of the Montravis Adams, but he's our only defensive tackle listed, so we're just going to keep him on the roster for now as like a placeholder. TJ Watt, Devin Bush, Highsmith, they kept his depth trait. We need corner. Could cut Akila Witherspoon, but like I said, we only have 3 on the roster, so just placeholders, keeping him. And we got Evans back. So let's look at free agency, see who is available. We have a top pick in the draft. Could trade down, pick up more picks. And looking at positions of need, don't need running back. We need fullback. But I want to bring Derek Watt back. We'll give him a 2-year deal. Up the money a little bit. Not that much. Try to get him back. Receiver, we're good. Tight end, we are good. We could use a backup tight end, though. We do need a backup tight end, actually. Now when I think about it. Let's see, Max Williams is here. Chris Manhertz. We'll go with Chris Manhertz. He seems like he would be a Steeler. He has no interest. Give him a 1-year deal. Lower the money a little bit. Offensive line, there's really no upgrades. I mean, Nate Davis is here. He's a scheme fit. Who do we have at right guard? We have James Daniels already. Left guard, we have Kendrick Green, who we could develop. We have Dotson. So we don't need guard. Need tackle. And Jack Conklin is here. We already have a core for on that bad contract, though. Javon Hargrave played for the Steelers before. Got Sheldon Rankins. Greg Gaines would not be a bad pickup, but we kind of have Ogunjobi playing that defensive tackle role anyway. Let's look at corner. Darius Williams is here. That wouldn't be bad. Go with Darius Williams for a year. Overpay a little bit. And boom. Our targets are Darius Williams, Chris Manhertz, and bringing Derek Watt back. Let's see if we get all of these guys. We get Derek Watt. We don't get Darius Williams. Now we're going to get Chris Manhertz? Probably not. Well, we get Derek Watt back. And let's advance the week. So it looks like we're not going to make any big free agent signings, just retaining our own talent. The most important position, fullback. Fullbacks matter. And mock draft 4 is available. We'll see who we take at number 2. They still have us taking that left end, get that right tackle who is a top 5, and we may just take him. We may just take him. But his defensive tackle looks good, Gerald James, who in the first mock draft, they had us taking him. He wouldn't be a bad pick. And I think that guard down the board, Greg Dahl, he's a good pick. I mean, if we could play him at right tackle, I wouldn't mind taking him. A, awareness. C, run block finesse. A, lead block. What is his pass block? Pass block power is a B to D. Pass block finesse is A to C. Greg Dahl, I am interested in. That defensive tackle, I'm interested in. And then probably the top guy right here, Daniel Boyle. I'm probably going to scout those 3 dudes. But let's advance the week. When we get to the private workouts, we will entertain trading the pick away or trading down. Because if we do like the guard more, we could trade down and then get him at a lower pick and then accumulate some more draft capital. And mock draft 5 is available. And nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. They have us taking that edge rusher. We have TJ Watt. We have Alex Highsmith now, who's a superstar dev. So we don't need another edge rusher. But let's look at the free agency recap to see where everybody signed. As y'all saw, we got TJ Watt, or Derek Watt. Might as well call him DJ Watt. We'll have DJ, TJ, and JJ. Tony Pollard goes to the Falcons. Kareem Hunt to the Dolphins. Juju to the Giants with Josh Allen. Odell to the Eagles. Rashad Penny, McCole Hardman both to the Lions. Jack Conklin to the Chiefs. Some good signings. But the private workouts, we are going to be working out. We probably should do cornerback. We're going to do Daniel Boyle. We're going to do, where did this corner come from? And where did this one come from? Okay, so some things have changed. So looks like we're going to do Junior Williams, the corner. He's top 5 talent. The right tackle, the top 5 talent. And then we're going to also do maybe this other corner. But I like Greg Dahl too. I think I'm going to do Greg Dahl. Where's the defensive tackle? Where's Gerald James? We'll do Gerald James. But, man, I want to do Greg Dahl. I think Greg Dahl, he's going to be a beast. So we already know what he is. Let's do 3 different positions of need. And let's start the draft.
Now, the Houston Texans.
So at pick 1, the Texans go right tackle. Now, let's look at the board. And we know, let's see, we know some of the quarterback. Also, Junior, he has A catching, B man, B press, C zone. Who's the other guy? Greg Dahl, we really don't know that much. And then Gerald James, we know he's a beast. B block shedding, B finesse, B power, A tackling. We can't go wrong with either pick. He looks like a beast. B block shedding, B power moves, B finesse, A. He's a beast. Gerald James will upgrade the D line. Or we could go corner and Junior Williams. A catch and B press, C play rec, B man. We could go Junior Williams, or we could go Greg Dahl, who I liked anyway. Now, what is his pass block? We don't really know it yet, but I feel like we should take him. Don't know. I don't think I can't go wrong with any of the picks. It's either the corner. I feel like we should trade down, see which ones go. The corner. Who do we have? We let Cam Sutton go. We have Levi Wallace. We still have Akilo Witherspoon on the roster. We have an offensive lineman that can play this year. And we have Larry Ogunjobi. Chris Form. I think we go D-line. DeMarvin Leal, do we give up on him? I think I'm going to go corner.
The Miami Dolphins
I'm going to go corner.
on the clock.
Junior Williams, normal dev. With Big Ben's jersey number.
The Seattle
Go corner with number 2 overall pick. Okay. Probably shouldn't have did that.
Lions now on the clock.
See where these other guys go. So, I want to see what the defensive tackle. All right, there goes Dahl to the Cardinals.
It's the Detroit
And
Lions
did the
now
defensive
on
tackle go, or is he falling?
On the clock now.
Gerald James falls all the way to 15 to my Seattle Seahawks, of course. Seahawks have just been all over the place in this Steelers rebuild.
Eagles now on the clock. It's the Buffalo Bills now on the
It's like they're mocking me for doing the Steelers.
On the clock now. It's the Los Angeles Chargers.
Let's go to our next pick,
Steelers are now on the clock.
and we'll look at offensive line. We'll look at defensive tackles. Actually, there's a great receiving back here. Ball carrier vision's an F, though. Let's look at the running backs. See if there's anybody here that could back up Najee Harris, maybe. But doesn't seem like it. Receiver, we don't need a receiver. Tight end, I mean, we could use a backup. But, I mean, we have Pat Freiermuth right now. Tackle, that guy looks good. We could probably get him in the 3rd round. Center, we can get one later on. And then offensive line, offensive line we can get later on. Let's look at D-line. Probably should have went D-line with our first pick. We didn't. We went corner. We go Deshaun Barton, C finesse, A to C tackling, B block shedding, 334, elite strength but D power moves. Let's take a chance on him. Hidden dev, 99 strength. Found our nose tackle. So we go defense with our first 2 picks, and then with our 3rd pick here, our 3rd pick, round 3 with number 2. You know what I mean. Let's go offensive line, and who do we pick? Let's see, you got Thomas Clifford. He doesn't look that bad. A, awareness, C, impact blocking. He has poor strength. F, run block finesse. Yeah. Dorian Myers, elite agility, elite jumping, bench press was really good. Dorian Myers could be a steal. And if this guy right here, Reggie Whitehead, did not have F run block, I would take him. So we're going to go with the Dorian guy. Where is he? Dorian Myers, left guard. Out of Stanford, hidden dev.
The Miami Dolphins.
Not bad. So with 2 positions that we could have went with our first pick, we don't. We go corner. That's normal dev. And then with our other picks, we get 2 hidden devs. Now I think we add dev to the team. We need backup running back. We need backup tight end. Let's look at the running backs. See if there's anybody here. There's an elusive back here right here. Let's see. He has slow. See awareness. Let's look at his power back. DeAndre Lynn.
With the next pick, the Kansas City
3 hidden
Chiefs
devs in a row.
on the clock.
Just because I'm doing the Steelers does not mean I won't have my crown when it comes to the draft. I am still the draft king. Don't have a 5th round pick.
It's the Steelers.
Do have a
now
6th
on
round
the
pick.
clock.
And I think we should go backup tight end. I mean, we have Connor Hayward. We have Connor Hayward. So kind of don't need backup tight end. What position do we need? We have Minka Fitzpatrick. We have Terrell Edmonds. We have corner. We have our middle linebackers. We got the D lineman. We got the offensive lineman. Running back. I think we go running back. So we got Grant Brown. A ball carrier vision, D juke move, B tackling, B a stiff arm. He looks okay. Or do we like this guy, the receiving back? We're either going to take the receiving back or the power back. Now, you're a receiving back and you run a 4.6. Give me the power back. Give me the power back. Actually, let's look at this power back right here. Monty Bowers runs a 4.55. He actually doesn't look that bad. Hidden dev. 4 straight hidden devs. Then we get a hidden dev in the 6th round. We are killing. I don't like that it's the Steelers that I'm doing this for, but I'm just showing y'all. I'm showing y'all my draft skills. And then with this next pick, might trade out of it because we don't need backup safety. We don't need. Actually, we did lose to Monte Casey. I think we did lose Carl Joseph. Maybe I think we still have Miles Killebrew. We don't have a backup for TJ Watt if he gets injured again. So this could be a power rusher, an edge rusher. Let's see if we can finish with a hidden dev. Don't really see one when it comes to the linebacker position. Don't really see no DN, so we will go with the one guy we saw. Can't remember his damn name. Let's look at this guy real quick, though. Elite acceleration. I would just bet on the elite acceleration. Kendall Clements out of Washington. So that should do it for our draft. Got like 4 hidden dev traits in a row. And let's see how we did. So, I mean, not bad. So 75 overall corner with our first pick. Then we get a 75 D lineman hidden dev, 73 offensive line hidden dev, running back hidden dev. Wait, hold on. Did I go 2 running backs? I don't remember drafting 2 running backs. Did I really do that? And they both have hidden devs? Well, our running back room just got injured. But Junior Williams was our first pick, number 2 overall. Big corner. He is going to be a day 1 starter for us. Pair him up with William Jackson. We got Levi Wallace. Still got Keelan Witherspoon on the roster. And then Deshaun Barton. We have him now with Cam Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi. Still got DeMarvin Leal developing. Myers can compete for a starting offensive line role. Probably kick him out to right tackle. Don't know what we're going to do with Kendrick Green then. Could potentially trade him maybe. And then we have DeAndre Lynn, who's going to be a power back for us. And we drafted another power back who I think has hidden dev. Yeah, they both do. So our running back room, I mean, we get our running backs 2 and running back 3 maybe. And then our left outside linebacker we missed out. But I do want to check out those guys that I passed on. Who was the best player in the draft? It was a running back going to who else? The Cowboys. They lost Tony Pollard in free agency. This is probably what they'll do in real life. I don't think they'll do it in the first round. And then the Titans, another team that needs a running back. They get one with pick 6 in the second round. And then Bryce Benson, the pick after us, was the third best player in the draft. This corner in the second round to the Cardinals was the fourth best player. But where are those guys that we were torn on taking? I don't even see them up here. So it looks like we did good in our draft. I don't see not one of them. So Boyle was 74. Okay. Was he a hidden dev? He was. So, I mean, we couldn't get him. He went number 1 overall. We were the pick after at number 2. And where there was a defensive tackle, right? There was a defensive tackle. And we took the corner. He went number 15, right, to the Seahawks. Boom, there he is. Gerald James, he was a 73, and he was normal. So we went corner, he was a 75, so I think we did pretty good in the draft. But year 1, only 4 wins, number 2 overall pick, last team in our division. It couldn't, I mean, we had a great draft, but if you ask me, couldn't have started off even better than that. But Merry Christmas to everybody. That'll wrap it up for year 1, part 1, until the next episode.